honestly, I mean, there's no real way that I usually start these, but so what you think about doing that down there?
That's great. I love it. Are you talking about next door, or are you talking about
No, right here.
Oh, in the shop. Yeah, that was great. It was awesome.
Next. No, not next door. I'm talking about down there in the shed, the Mud Flap Studios or whatever.
Man, I loved it. What can I say? Everything was one take too, man. Come on,
Dude, I mean, a professional over here.
Professional.
I mean, dude, it's almost like you do this, like, 3 or 4 times a week, a couple, like 10, 12 times a month kind of thing.
Hey, judging by your new truck in the driveway, I mean, you must be doing all right.
Well, look, that's not a new one now. A good old 2020 needs to be paid off now. But look, man. Hey, look. First off, I appreciate you coming out here and hanging out with us. What's going on, everybody? This is Mud Flap from Mud Flap Outdoors on the latest episode of the Broken Down podcast. And as you see, if you're watching on YouTube and the video elements, I got my man over here, Kaleb King. Kaleb, what's going on?
Man, it's your world. I'm living in it, brother. I'm happy to be here.
I don't know about all that now, dude. I'm living in your world at this point.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Dude.
How so?
How so? Well, first off, I have to look up to you.
Why is that?
Because I'm 5'5".
Well, I'm 5'6". We're good.
Yeah. I love it. I already like how this is going, man. But look, man, the point of this podcast is have a good time, have some good conversations. Anything you want to ask me, you ask away. But the first thing, that first question I asked was, how'd you like it down there? Dude, music. What got you into it?
I don't know. It's kind of funny. So when I was, it's not funny at all actually, but when I was a kid, I always rode motorcycles, and one Christmas my parents got me a guitar. I was like, huh. So I started playing around with it. Never thought of it again. And then I had a tumor in my left hand. I don't know if you can see that for the camera, but
yeah,
I can't bend my wrist any farther than that. So,
really?
Yeah. One summer I got the surgery on it, and I couldn't play baseball anymore. I was like, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I thought about the guitar, and I started reteaching myself how to play what I already knew a little bit. Mm-hmm. And fast forward to when I was 16, calling into Kiss the 99.3, I won something. Mm-hmm. They gave me Jamie Johnson tickets and a Randy Houser CD. I heard that CD, and I was like, that's what I want to do.
Well, I mean, it's funny you say Jamie Johnson and Randy, Houser. I mean, your voice already sounds very similar. It's almost like the love child of those two guys,
Well, thank you. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not mad about that.
No, yeah. Exactly. So at an early age, did you, obviously you picked up the guitar and you started kind of just fiddling with it. At what point did you realize you really, really wanted to kind of pursue music?
Well, the first time I ever played, I played out and just feeling the validation of people saying, "Hey, you're kind of good at this." And I was obviously then I wasn't very good, mm-hmm. but hearing people say that, and like I started making friends that I guess wouldn't have been that sounds weird, but mm-hmm. I started getting more attention from people. I never had that like in school, and that's that's kind of how I made a decision to do it. So.
Right. So it's almost like that initial support system, because obviously, growing up, you always have that support system. You have those people that says, hey, you're good at this, when like you said, like at the time you probably weren't good. Like when I started video production, people were like, "Hey, good videos." I look back at them, I'm like, "These are awful." Like what? I'm like, "I appreciate you lying to me, but these are awful. Don't lie to me ever again."
Going back and listening to some of those old songs, I'm like, "Man, these people were tone deaf." That or they were just lying to me, which, hey, it worked. So
yeah,
here I am. Yeah.
But again, that support system, and however you want to call it, whether it's that false confidence, it gave you enough confidence to kind of keep pursuing it and keep perfecting it. And then at what point in your journey did you realize, like, hey, not only did you like the music, but you liked the songwriting process?
Yeah, I didn't really songwrite that much until I was probably in my 20s. And I just did the cover song thing, getting people to sing back to me, and the songs that I did start singing. Like I just said, they were terrible. And what was the question again? Say it one more time.
Yeah, so obviously, like your journey, you had the support system, you gained the confidence to continue the music. At what point did you really start enjoying the songwriting process?
Yeah, in my 20s, when I started living life a little bit more, you know, that's kind of what made me start writing, was feelings that I had.
Okay.
So
Okay. So, like, obviously you sat there and said, there was you lived a life and that kind of impacted your songwriting, I guess talk about really your songwriting process now and kind of who you collaborate with and such.
yeah, so now everything I write about now is more family oriented. I don't party. I don't do any of that stuff, and I write about real life, like in my life. And I collaborate a lot with Jake Harrelson. So we write a bit. Blaine Rudd, you probably know Blaine. Written some with Adam Hood, Adam Swin, those guys like that. We're all kind of like minded.
Yeah.
Rye Davis, he's
Yeah.
another great writer.
So, I would, so like for me, just initially, listen to your music, listen to how you present yourself. You have that old school country sound. You have that old school, first off, you have a great voice, because like for me, the type of music I listen to is like the Cody Jinks, the Jamie Johnsons, anyone with like the deeper voice. I don't know. A deeper voice to me just sounds country, just probably the most country ever. And then, I mean, obviously, if you have a higher pitched voice like a Randy Travis, that's obviously country there. But for me, I gravitate towards the deeper style. So like, in a short synopsis, how would you describe your style of country music?
Probably more traditional, like the Randy Travis and the Jamie Johnson stuff. But I lean, in some of my earlier stuff, I leaned more of a rock sound, which is I don't know, maybe more of some like Randy Houser stuff. When his earlier career, he was more rock heavy, and that had a lot of influence on me early on. So I think probably more of a traditional style.
So with the traditional style, I'm assuming the traditional style and the traditional artists in country music were kind of your inspirations.
For sure, like George Strait. I think he's everybody's favorite. But
Yeah.
dude, I've probably heard every record he's had
Right.
100 times, because my mom, like when we lived in, I grew up in Manchester, Georgia. My parents got a divorce, and my mom, she would take me to Columbus every day because that's where she worked. So they paid out of county school fees for me to go to Columbus school. So we had a 45-minute drive to school every day, and she wore out George Strait. And I mean, I've probably heard every record, like I said, 100 times.
Yeah.
So that had a lot of influence on me too, like sonically, like the steel guitars and his melodies, and the writing more about family stuff. And he's not always writing about drinking, party, field, truck, girl, whatever, beer.
Yeah.
That's not what I write about.
So what are some of the artists that you listen to kind of now, and do you, and there's a second part to this, is how do you feel about the transition that we're going from, we went to traditional to like early 2000s, you had the 90s movement, then you had, I guess, the pop country, then you had the bro country, and now we're kind of getting back to the traditional side. So like, I guess the question I have is what's your take on music in general right now?
I think it's going into a traditional spot, like you just said, and I love what I'm hearing. But the younger kids, man, they like the Morgan Wallen stuff, and I like some of it too. But like Zach Top, everybody's talking about him, and he's great, man. I think he's kind of like a mix between Tracy Lawrence and Zach Top and Alan Jackson, and all that kind of mixed into one. I love the sounds that he's doing. I still listen to Randy Houser. I like Riley Green. He's got a lot of traditional stuff. Ella Langley, that's a hometown girl. You know? I love the path that's going. And as far as what'd you say, the newer stuff?
Yeah.
What do I think about the newer stuff? I mean, like the AI stuff. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, 100%. Like, because obviously, the most prolific one is Randy Travis, and obviously he had a stroke, and I think it was in 2013. And so he was still getting his functions, his voice, and all that. But they have basically a vocal donor. I don't know how you would vocal surrogate, something like that.
Yeah.
And then they used AI.
Crazy to say it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like
Yeah.
I mean, again, right before we started rolling, we were talking about how AI has changed everything. So kind of the first thing I wanted to kind of talk about is kind of your thoughts on AI in terms of like the vocal surrogate, like a Randy Travis situation?
Man, I don't really have a problem with it. I don't think anybody has a problem with it, but I think it's cool. Have you seen the videos of like where he'll bring like Clay Walker and I don't know who else it was that he'd bring in, but and they'd let them listen to his records and they would cry. I mean, it's unreal how spot on it is to his old records, and it's not even him singing; it's AI that created his tones from his old records. I think that's awesome, but it's still a little scary too as far as the songwriting aspect of it. Like, hey, write me a country song, and who owns that? Who owns that stuff when it gets put out?
Yeah.
Who was it Drake or somebody that like had somebody
so.
put
Yeah.
something out? Yeah. Like that's it kind of freaks me out a little bit, but
Well, and it's funny, because I was listening to a podcast. I think it was with Theo Von. It was Theo Von and Kid Rock, and Theo Von asked him about like the AI and using his likeness and all that, and Kid Rock's like, "Do it. I don't care. I mean, look, it's less work for me. I'm going to make money off of it, and I didn't have to lift a finger." And I'm like,
yeah.
Well, and then the great thing that he said was, "Hey, I can perform it on stage and no one's going to care."
That's right.
Like, it doesn't matter if I wrote it, did it, anything. Like, I can still do it and use it.
Well, the good news is none of us make any money on it anyway. So
Yeah. So
rock on.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think that, I don't know, my opinion on the whole AI songwriting kind of situation is, I think there's a happy balance. I think there is because again, like you may have a song idea or title, and you may not be fortunate like a Morgan Wallen to have like the 16, 17 different writers that are on one song. Because right when you got here, we looked up the credits for like one of his songs, and it was 17 people, and I'm like, well, yeah, it's going to be a good song if there's 17 people, writing it, even if it's one word or two words or looking at the fly on the wall. Like, it's going to be good, but like, someone that's like up and coming, that's still, pushing and doing the gigging stuff and trying to write the good music to record and everything, you may need that little bit of assistance. So like for me in the songwriting aspect, you may need that, like, okay, well, I know kind of what the direction I'm going. Maybe I just throw it at the wall and just see if it sticks, see what it comes up with. And it may, 99.9% of it may be awful, but there may be one line that goes, hold on, that you may just sit there and go, hold on, okay, now I'm thinking in this direction when I was thinking in this direction. I don't know. I guess what's your take on that aspect right there?
Well, and that aspect, they're just using it as a tool, kind of. A lot of writers and like they'll use their phone and like find something that rhymes with whatever they're doing, or a dictionary. It's the same thing. It's just a modern tool, I'd imagine. But I haven't used it to try to write a song or anything. So, a matter of fact, I don't even know how to pull it up. Is it a chat something? Chat, what,
yeah.
GPT or?
Yeah, I mean, dude, there's like so many. There's like Chat GPT. I think there's, there was one newer one. But like Google has their own little AI thing that, like, if you look up, hey, Randy Travis, and they'll put up like a 4-sentence like synopsis, like Randy Travis is a country music artist who had a stroke in 2013, won so many ACMs and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, that's cool, and that's also scary. That's information I did not care to know, but thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I've seen somewhere or heard it somewhere that like you can ask it like who won yesterday's ball game or something, and it'll tell you. But sometimes it's not accurate.
Mm-hmm.
It'll give you misinformation. So that's kind of scary too. That
Well, I know we use it for stupid stuff. So like, I'm sure you probably saw on Facebook, or your wife probably heard like you have AI roast you.
Oh yes,
we roasted us, and it was spot on because it was, first off, it was my buddy randomly sent me what felt like a 5-page essay.
Yeah.
About a photo of me and him. We had American flag overalls. Look, this was probably about 4 years ago or something like that. And we were at Orange Beach, funny enough. And I think it was for Memorial Day weekend. So we had to dress up and show out. But he did that, and he got it to like level 4, like caliente, kind of like, oh no, we're going to go straight to the jugular. And I was like, yep, that was that was pretty accurate. But again, it's scary that you can upload a photo and just say, hey, roast me, and it can automatically identify different things about it.
Yeah, so I got put in a group text with my buddy Chad Milam and his wife Anna, and it was a picture of me, Chad, and our buddy Jeremy, and one other guy, and that we're all wearing, like, three of us are wearing like vests for some reason. I don't know, we didn't plan it, and it was like, I have to read it.
Yeah.
But it was like works for Bass Pro Shops or something like that, passwords or it was hilarious what it was saying. But then she sent it back and she said, I asked it to be mean, and it started roasting us like bad.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. I forgot all about that. So.
Yeah, well, and the thing was, so like it was the American flag ones, and it got so detailed. It basically, first off, it called us like the love child of like America and Kid Rock, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm like, that's kind of funny, that's pretty good. But like for me and my dad, we were at a Cody Jinks concert, and I'll tell you that whole circuit of what we did last year, which it was a great time every weekend. But we were at a Cody Jinks concert, and we took a picture, and like we both had Cody Jinks shirts on, Mudflap Outdoors hats on, just right before the concert even started, wearing sunglasses and everything, and you barely could see like the Cody Jinks like on the shirt, and it identified Cody Jinks, and it started writing it out of like when it was roasting us, and I said, that's cool and scary at the same time.
That is scary. I wonder if it could take the picture that you send it, and it like has your location of where you were, and like
there's a good chance it could have been.
Wouldn't that be wild?
Yeah. I immediately had been like,
you got any tinfoil out here? Let's
I know. You know what? Podcast is over. We're done. This is technology.
Right,
we're out of this.
That's right.
But so like going back to what I was saying, like like so like last year, and we did not plan this out this way, but the whole month of October, every weekend we had a concert. Me and him did. So
Nice.
like we did Cody Jinks with Josh Malloy in Atlanta, and then the next weekend was Corey Smith at Buckhead Theater.
Oh, I bet that was awesome.
Yeah, and then Corey's going to be up here at Valley Fest next weekend.
Okay. Yeah, I saw Blaine posted something about that.
Yeah, because Blaine is I think he's going on before him, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to look at the lineup again. So we saw Corey Smith there at Buckhead. And then the weekend after, we saw Pony Bradshaw at Waverly. And then the following weekend, actually wasn't really the weekend, it was a Monday, we saw Whiskey Myers in Dothan.
Come on.
Dude, I'm telling you, we saw him, and it was Colby Acuff. And have you heard of J.J. Gray and the Mofro?
I think I have.
I never heard of them a day in my life. They're good. Not my cup of tea, but they're good.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. It's kind of like a more soulful Jimmy Buffett is probably the best way I can explain it. It's kind of more like beach kind of vibes is what I'd consider it. Boat rock is probably the best way to explain it.
There you go. Like yacht rock.
Yeah, yacht rock. That's it. That was the terminology I was looking for. No, it's a good old time.
So what got you into mud flap outdoor? How did that come about? What is mud flap?
So that's a good story. So basically what happened was it was in 2020 when we had the good old STEMI checks come in. The STEMIs. And Papa Trump gave us the STEMIs. But so I had that money sitting there, and I wasn't doing anything. And me as a creative, I wanted to do something that was very much just anything. Like it didn't matter. Like I like video. I like taking photos. I like doing anything. And so when they said, "Hey, you have to just sit at the house and do nothing," well, I'm gonna go stir crazy. So I always liked hats. I always looked at them, and I'm like, man, I don't want to buy a $30 hat. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Like. I guess one day I just kind of woke up and said, man, what if I made my own? And then I was like, what would it be called? And I mean, I had nothing but time. And so I sat there for like 3 days, started writing stuff out. And then I just came up and I said, well, people know me as Mudflap, so let's just do that.
Well, where did that come from? Where did Mudflap?
Mudflap.
Did you have like a Mississippi mudflap or a Kentucky waterfall back there?
Well, no. I mean, I'm bald as all get out. I mean, you can thank my family, genes on that one. But so Mudflap came up. See, I always tell people like there's a cooler story with it, but the real like the cooler stories I say is like, man, I just, I was born in the mud and I just came out of it, out like with mud. Like it's like every time I'm at a mud park, I mean, because like we would go to Taylor County boondocks and ride. I remember it was funny. I'll answer your question in a second, but I remember we went riding and like literally this was how baller I was at the time. It was me, my dad, and our other buddy Shane, and they're getting camp ready, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go ride around and just kind of see what's happening. So they're getting camp ready, and I go, and I come back, and I had 2 girls on the back of a foiler, and they're like, what? And I was like, look, guys, this is how
that's
I roll.
where Mud Flap came from.
Yeah, that's it. No, but I wish that was the true story. But true story was it started with rap.
Okay.
Because growing up, I had a buddy, Troy Jackson, who plays music. He can play the guitar. He can sing pretty good. And when I say pretty good, he's way better than me. I can't hold a tone to save my life. Like
me either, brother.
Quit lying now.
Me and Troy, we're the only ones that know how to do it right.
Yeah, 100%. But so I was like, all right. So I kept asking him. I mean, we were like middle school or whatnot, and I was still getting into video stuff. And I'm like, man, I want to do a music video. I want to do something. Like, again, just the creative juices. I wanted to do something. And so I was like, hey, man, he had like maybe like Audacity, like the free like recording software you can get online. And I was like, man, just record something and we'll figure it out, later. I'm like, I just want to do a video. And he's like, oh, yeah. Well, he's smarter than me. He's baseball, like, the gifted accelerator program, like doing all kinds of stuff. And he just didn't have time. Well, again, this kind of lines up to the mud bogging stuff that we used to do at Taylor County boondocks. And I, at the time, I liked Colt Ford, Charlie Farley, the Lax, Bubba Sparks, JB Moonshine Band, Low Cash Cowboys, when they were Low Cash Cowboys, not Low Cash now, Georgia Boys, all that kind of stuff. And I still do, but I was like, all right, I liked it, and I was like, man, I want to do a song, I want to do a music video. And I said, well, why not? And so I ended up just kind of coming up with a horrible song. When I say horrible, Caleb, nothing rhymed. It was like free verse.
Wait, so you wrote this song?
I wrote this song.
Was you?
Yeah,
is this still out there?
Oh, it's out there for the world to see.
What's it called?
It's called Work Hard, Mud Hard.
Work Hard, Mud Hard.
And it is I will call it a parody of a Wiz Khalifa song.
Solid.
So it was that with bad auto tune and everything. It is every bit of so bad. You can nothing's great about it. And I did the song and I'm like, I need a name. And so we were sitting at JR Steakhouse over here in Smith Station, and it was just a bunch of us, and someone there because I think I showed them the video and song, and they're like, well, you can't use Cody Baker. Like, that's a horrible name. I'm like, yeah, 100%. Like, that's a horrible rap name. And so I was thinking Code Main, like Gucci Mane.
You should have put the AI on it, man. You could have got you a cool name.
Now, honestly, I may do that to see if there's oh man, what could have been a cooler name? But we were throwing stuff at the wall. Like, we were thinking what's the most redneck country item or whatever. It was lug nut, pine cone, arrowhead. Yeah, like anything like that. And somebody said mud flap, and we all just that's not horrible. And so we sat on it, and I'm like, it's not bad. And so a couple days go by, and we're like, screw it, it's mud flap. And I'm like, I'm mud flap now. And then it just kind of stuck at that point.
Well, I like it. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it.
Well, I appreciate it. Not for the longest, I was like, I don't know.
Well, I was just hoping it was mullet related, but
I wish it was mullet related.
That should be. You should come up with some T-shirts, with Mud Flap Outdoors, and a guy has a skullet or something.
Here's the thing with the way my hair is, I could actually grow a skullet.
Come on.
Caleb, I'm trying to find a female in my life. I'm trying.
Well,
I don't
that
think
might attract the wrong ones, brother.
I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. No, yeah, no. So that started the name, and then I just kind of went with it. Did some music and all that. None of it's good. Actually, no. There's one that's actually like it's not bad because we did this thing. Me and my buddy Chandler. We did the Phoenix City Boys.
Okay.
So I don't. You probably heard maybe a smidgen because I don't know. Like Daddy, every now and then, you know, or back in the probably a couple years ago, someone's like, "Hey, are you? Does your son do the Phoenix City Boys?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh, well, I like it." I'm like, "You are one of the very few people that liked it," because I'm telling you, when we did the first song, which was again we were in high school, probably like freshman or sophomore in high school. And we put it out there. Oh, we were ridiculed. The internet's ruthless. We were. It was so bad. The comments were bad. The Facebook at the time. I wish I could go back and just start reading those comments again. It was so bad, Caleb. Like I didn't know any of it was happening. And then my buddy Chandler called me. He goes, "Hey, man." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "You need to check Facebook and YouTube." I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "Do it and call me back." Oh my goodness, it was so bad. I called him. I said, "Dude, this is ruthless." Then I had another buddy just randomly call me and says, "Dude, you need to make a part 2." I said, "Why? This is ruthless. This is awful." He goes, "No, play into it. Play into it completely. Like if they think it's serious."
What do they call it? Satire or whatever?
Satire, basically. Like, if they think it's serious, play it off. And so we wrote the part 2 within like 15 minutes and recorded it in one of the bedrooms in there because I had my computer, a little blue, I think it's like a blue mic or whatever, USB mic, and we lit into it. And we did the music video like maybe a few days after that. And I told him, I said, "We got to be the most outrageous." So I had my overalls, no shirt on, horrible dancing. When I say horrible, that was my best dancing I've ever done in my life. Straw hat, just as mean of a face as I could, just to make it as just sell it. And that was the whole point. And after that, they're like, "Okay, never mind. We were kidding." And I was like, "No, we heard you. We heard you loud and clear. It was supposed to be for fun because like, I mean we're just, 15, 16-year-old kids just doing whatever."
You hear that, ladies? Cody Baker, rap extraordinaire, dance extraordinaire, and he could take pretty pictures at the wedding. So,
well, yeah, it's funny. I have a wedding coming up in a few weeks that I'm the best man in, and they told me I had to keep it not G-rated, but I couldn't be R-rated. I had to be like PG, and I was like, "Okay." I'm like, "Let me see how I can do that." So I have some ideas in the back of my mind that I'm like, I may do this, I may do that, and whatnot. What's up, Maggie? And this is my dog, Maggie. Just making a cameo over here if you're watching it on video. But if not, it is what it is. Dude, your style already, like, I could not pull off what you're wearing right now.
Well, this is all I had clean, man. It is what it is. You should have seen me earlier. I was just wearing pajamas.
Really?
Yeah, I was going to wear that over here, but my wife was like, "Probably shouldn't."
Yeah, probably shouldn't. Yeah. I probably should dress up just a little bit.
Just a touch.
Just a touch. Yeah, I woke up. I woke up at like 6, and I'm like, "What time is he coming again?" And I looked, and I did my math, and I go, "I got to leave now if I'm going to get everything situated." So I got up, and I just drove on down here, and I'm like, "All right, let me figure out what I need to do."
Where'd you drive from?
Auburn.
Okay, that wasn't too bad.
It wasn't bad, but knowing me, I didn't even pack anything. Well, most of the stuff was already here from last weekend, but like I didn't pack all my camera stuff the night before or anything. I was like, "Oh, geez." I said, "I got to do this too." So at 6:30, I'm sitting there packing up. At 7 o'clock, I'm on the road. I'm like, "We're going to have to figure this out." And I'm like, "I hope I got everything I need."
Well, I think we're doing all right.
I think so too, man. I mean, heck, this is the whole point of a podcast: having a good time, having a good conversation, and all that.
I think so too. What's next for you? What's the next besides the wedding, what's your next appearance or
Appearance.
Are you doing any more rap stuff?
No, Caleb. If you ever want to venture into rap,
Yeah.
and want to be my ghostwriter, dude, I'm in. I'll do it.
I'm with it, man.
I'm in because I'll do it because I don't care. Like I'm okay making a fool out of myself. Like it's cool with me.
We'll do it together.
Oh, I'm in.
We can call ourselves. We'll have to AI that, get us a group name.
Yes, yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, 100% AI group name. You know what? That's gonna be the group name right there. AI group name.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be all the lyrics from AI, and we're just gonna do it.
It's funny you brought up Taylor County Boondocks because, so when you said that, I immediately went back into my mind. I was like, one of the worst shows I've ever had in my life was at that place, and some of the best shows I've ever had were at that place. But I've probably played out there 4 or 5 times over the last however long it's been open. But
Yeah.
The worst one I ever did was July 4th. It was probably 2014, maybe. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because they were still pretty new.
Yeah, I think they closed in like 17 or 18, something like that, maybe. I don't know. I know it was right before COVID when they said, I think we're done.
Yeah. Well, I had sliced my hand on some metal and sliced my tendons open like 5 days before the show.
How'd you do that?
I used to do heat and air, and I popped open a box that had the fittings like that you put the ductwork on, and I popped it open and sliced my finger pretty good. And I was like, oh, I can't move my fingers. I sliced them in half. And anyway, so I had to get them sewn back on. So July 4th was the show. I think I had surgery on July 2nd. So I'm in this big cast thing, and I can't play the guitar. And my band, we did a full band thing, and I thought I did great when I was up there. But I forget the guy, Steven maybe, one of the guys that ran it. He came up to me and was like, man, you sounded pretty good, but you do know that you stood backwards the whole show, right? I was like, say what? He said, yeah, you looked at your drummer the whole show. And I looked back at some of the pictures, and I was turned straight around. And, I wasn't in my right mind because all the pain or whatever. But I thought that was, I went right back to that. When you said Taylor County Boondocks, I was like, that's the worst show I've ever done. But, yeah,
dude, no.
backwards.
Yeah, no, Taylor County Boondocks was a good time because, like, we were there. We would, like, on it, like, as much as we enjoyed the, like, the riding around and all that, we mainly went for the concerts. Like, we went, and, again, that was, like, Average Joe's Entertainment, like the Colt Ford brand and all that. That's if they were going to do an album release or anything, that was the party. That was where they were going to do it. Like the Mega Truck series was, a lot of it was filmed there. A lot of their music videos during that time was filmed there. Like if it was out there at a mud park, it was there. And Demon Jones had the song Boondocks. Filmed it at Boondocks, the whole thing. And I'm like, well, that's ironic.
Is he what does he do? What kind of music?
Demon's a rapper, but he's also a songwriter too.
It's an interesting name, Demon Jones.
Demon Jones. Well, Demon Jones was part of Rehab.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like the first, I don't want to say first, but I guess the inception, if I remember correctly. And I think he ended up doing his own thing, kind of branching off, and that's when Danny Boone, I think is the lead guy's name. Demon left, and I think that's when Bartender came out.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It was like right around that time.
What year do you think that song came out? Early 2000s? Probably?
Yeah. And I was like, I thought Rehab was going to do good. I was like, hey, I'm in it. Then, nope, they just kind of feathered off. But I also think, times are changing because, again, at the time you had the record sales and you had, buying the CDs and all that. And obviously, if you did it illegally during like LimeWire, FrostWire, or whatever, and got all those viruses that you would do it and burn those CDs,
Did he ever freeze up any of y'all's computers from LimeWire?
Yeah.
He's nodding his head, yes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. But I neither confirm nor deny that. But it, now with the streaming changed everything. And again, it's almost like social media. Social media changed everything, especially in the creative space. And I'm using creative space very loosely because that's also in songwriting, that's in song presentation, song distribution, however you want to call it. Like I know I asked you this earlier, but I'll ask you this again. Going back to the world of music, like if you had like basically all the money, the distribution, whatever kind of in the world at your disposal, would you how would you present your music? Would it be a kind of like very similar to a Morgan Wallen, the 36, 37 track, album, or would you do it kind of similar to a Gavin Adcock where it's like a song a month and then maybe repackage it as something like? I'm just more curious of kind of how you would do it.
If I had all the money?
Yeah, all the money.
Like no budget?
Yeah, no budget. And, just in this scenario, no budget, anything. How would you present your music?
First off, I would try to record only the best songs, even if it was something that I didn't write. Mm-hmm. I'd go out shopping the best songs I could, so you could recoup some more money. Mm-hmm. But none of us make any money now, anyways, on streaming. But I don't know. I'd try to beat Morgan Wallen. I'd do 100 songs a time.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Oh, yeah.
Me, John Boy, and Blaine, and probably Jake Harrelson, we'd all put out 100 songs at a time.
Yeah.
If I had all the money at my disposal.
Yeah. So, okay, that actually brings up a
disposal, not disposable.
Disposable.
You're over here using these $20 words.
$20.
I'm like, this guy didn't graduate school, so.
Dude, I went to Auburn. I have a little bit of an education in my back pocket, but sometimes when you come back home, it just quickly goes out the window, and you're like, you know what? Like tonight, I think if it don't rain, I'm gonna go out to the dirt track and go back to the roots.
Will they still if it rained early, like will they still run it?
Well, I think they're going to pack it. I think to my understanding, they're packing. I ain't checked Facebook or whatever their social media is to see if they're racing or not. But if it holds off.
It's starting to be pretty to hear the birds chirping.
Yeah,
again.
I know. It's almost like
water balloons flying. It's good, man.
Oh, jeez. Oh, gosh. I know you got the best view of all. That's the best part of us. Yeah. No, we So, all right, man. So, I want to know a little bit more about you, man. So I know when we talked on the phone a couple weeks ago, you were talking about like how much you like golf. Like, tell me about your golf experience, man.
Well, I'm no good at it anymore. But back in the late 1900s is when I really picked up my first golf club. So I was born in 92. It's about 99 when I picked it up. I'm just kidding. But no, I like to play golf. That's most people like to hunt. I like to fish. Mm-hmm. We have 4 kids, so my hunting thing and then doing music, I can't really be like, okay, well, I'm gonna go hunting, and that I'd like to, but that's not really what's important to me. I'd rather if I'm gonna pick my hobby to like as my out or whatever, it's gonna be golf, just because it's what I love most. But man, I don't know what about you? What do you like to do? This ain't about me. It's about you, brother.
No. It's about you, man. Look, no, I
love golf.
No, yeah. See, like I want to get. So, like when I worked in athletics, it's funny. Like the past 2 years, I've kind of started realizing I don't have hobbies, and I need to find more hobbies to do. Because in athletics, you just don't have that time. You're just working 7 days a week, 365. Twice on Sunday, kind of thing. Like, kind of one of those situations. So, like. Started getting back into, and that's kind of the resurgence of the podcast and the music. Whenever you asked me how I got into all this, it started the resurgence of all this. Because I enjoy creating content. And like people ask me, hey, what's your hobby? I'm like, filming. I'm like, no, I know that's your job, but like, what do you do? I'm like, no, I like filming. It's fun. I don't know why it's fun for me, but it is. I joke at like, hey, if I can't have a camera there, I don't want to do it. Like, yeah. So like. Look, we're going to go golfing, and I'm awful. I ain't swung a club in probably 6 years, so this is going to be great.
You'll probably beat me.
Yeah, there's not a chance in hell that I'll beat you. I promise you that.
Well, to answer your question for real, the thing I love about golf is, it's something that you could play the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. Like, I guess you could play baseball the rest of your life, but you're not going to find a league that you can go play in. But golf, I can go anywhere, like with music, traveling. Mm-hmm. if it's just me, typically I'll put my clubs in the truck, and I'll go play, Orange Beach, or if I'm in Tennessee, I'll play in Tennessee. There's always somewhere I can play, and that's what I love about it, is that it's something that kind of coincides with what I do.
Yeah, no, I mean that makes sense. Like for me, I like fishing. Now again, am I any good at it? I mean, I throw a line out there and they just don't bite. But I mean, again, the way I look at hobbies is if I can be off my phone and just kind of just enjoy the outdoors, that's what I like to do. So like when I tell people I just like doing anything outdoors, like, dude, yeah, I could just start walking that like dirt road back there and just start picking up like a twig and just throwing it like I did back when I was 7. That's fun for me. Like it doesn't matter. Like, it's that simple. That's how simple I am. So like, am I good at golf? No. But will I go and play it? I will say I've had friends that are like, man, come play golf, and it's like a country club golf course. I go, look, man, I'm the landscaper. We're going to divot this whole thing up, and we're going to get all the weeds out if you have me out there. So let's try a different golf course that you may not get kicked out of. So,
I don't think you'd get kicked out of one, man. There's some pretty rowdy folks that'll go to a golf course. You don't strike me as too rowdy. I think you'll be all right.
Well, I don't know.
Unless you jump the golf cart through a bunker or something.
No, I've never done that. I've paid for 18, and I golfed 4, and I drank the rest. And that was by hole 16. It got hairy.
You should have asked for a refund.
Yeah,
I only played 4 holes.
Yeah, I only played. I only played 4. Well,
it started raining.
Yeah, I don't know why. No, but I enjoy it. But like, the one thing I can't stand, at least whenever I went and golfed, was when someone's really good and they're making it a real competition. I'm like, dude, I don't care. I'm just here to hit a golf ball. Like, it goes that way. I don't care. It's like, oh, well, you sliced it. Try this. I'm like, I don't care. Am I on the PGA Tour? No. I'm out here in, wherever, Alabama. Like, I think we're good. Yeah. I'm not even keeping score. I'm just hitting the ball at this point.
Yeah, it's I don't get to play near as much as I used to. But,
right.
I've got a tee box in my yard, and we've got a pasture that I'll just.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of shag. I got probably 400 golf balls in this big bucket beside my house that I'll pull from, and I'll just go out there and smack them into. I got a flag set at about 150 yards in our pasture, and I'll just hammer golf balls out into that, and then, that keeps me sharp. Like I said, if it's something you got to play all the time to stay consistent, but I can still hit it a little bit.
Still hit it a little bit, and that's what I'm talking about, man. No, and I mean, again, and that's one of the things is, and that's part of why I started Mud Flap Outdoors is, like, when I came up with the brand, I was trying to figure out, like, who is Mud Flap? What is Mud Flap? What does he stand for? What do we stand for? And for me, it's just being outside, having a good time, whatever that is. I don't care if it's going outside and listening to live music. Did you have a good time? Yes. Is it going out and hitting golf balls, in your pasture? Did you have a good time? Yes. Is it going out, being with your family, and kids? Yes. Like anything. And so, hey, you know what? And even more important, are you outside throwing water balloons at each other?
No, I'm not. But
no.
Yeah, I know some people that do.
I know them very well.
It's pretty close to Highway 80, actually.
Yeah. Really close. They
got a swimming pool too.
Yeah, that and a swing set and everything. It's almost like Evel Knievel kind of thing.
You know anybody that fixes refrigerators? I dropped mine off, but it's been in somebody's yard for about 6 months now.
Oh, I knew this was going to be good. This was going to be a great one. This is going to be a different one and a great one. I love it, man. I love it. So, all right. So, you asked me what's next for me. What's next for you?
Well, I'm probably going to quit. No, man, I'm at the point now to where I love my wife. I love my kids. I love where I'm at. And, for the last, let's say I'm 30, how old am I? I'm 33. I've been at this since I was 17. And if nothing ever happens with it, I'm completely fine with it at this point because, man, I've got to do some of the coolest things that I never thought that I would have done. I've met my heroes. I've shared stages with my heroes. I've written songs with some of my heroes. Like I'm content at this point. And man, if I could just keep writing songs, and if by the grace of God somebody cuts it and we find an up and coming artist that like looks at me as a hero or whatever, and they want to record some of my songs and they take it and do whatever, then hey, that's awesome. It's not in my plan, but if that's what happens, that's what happens. But man, I could give it up for real tomorrow and still be happy at where I'm at. You know what I mean? But as far as what am I doing next, I've got some songs in the can that I could put out, and I probably will. And thanks to people like you and give me this opportunity to talk about. Really, I'm not talking about much because I'm an idiot and I don't say much right, but I don't have them $20 words like you do, like synopsis and what was the other one you used?
Oh, man, I forgot now.
Coincides and all these big words, but. Or read a book.
I did read a book once. One book.
Cracked it open just a minute, but no, man, I don't know. I just love playing where I'm playing at. Man, like the Floribama is such a blessing to us because it's like we don't have to go out and play all these different states anymore. There was times that I would be away from my family for 4 or 5 days at a time because I'm going to Chicago or I'm going to Tennessee to write songs, and it's like it's not really fair to my kids either, And it's like at this point I get to go to the Floribama. I can take my kids. My wife loves the beach. We've met some great friends down there. A lot of my songwriter buddies go down there. A lot of retired songwriters live down there. So it's like the best of both worlds. And then on top of that, you don't have to go hit any of these states anymore because it's such a transient, audience. People are from, in the wintertime, you got people from up north. In the summertime, you got people from all over the South, like Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas, Mississippi, Florida, Georgia, Alabama. It's such a cool thing, man. It's like hitting all those states in one day. That's what I love about the Floribama. And it's been such a great venue for me. And I watch my numbers, my numbers will start to dip, and then I go there and then they pop back up again.
Right.
And it's just cool, man. It's seeing the effects of just going out and beating the streets. You do it, 4 hours away from here.
Well, not only that, going back to kind of what started is, this whole conversation was your unique voice. It's like I said, it's that love child of Jamie Johnson and Randy Houser. But look, look, yeah,
you're an ugly baby.
Look, you're over here giving me crap about a $20 word. You said one. Transient.
Well, it is, and we are in 2025. You got to worry about what you got to say. So
yes, got to be on your P's and Q's.
Hey, what does that even mean?
I never understood P's and Q's.
P's and Q's.
I never did. No, I'll tell you the story. If we're talking about, I don't know why this, this came up, but I saw my buddy. I saw my buddy last night, and I think he posted something on Facebook because he's a teacher and whatnot, and
so he knows really big words.
He is like I said, he was way smarter than me. Well, I remember back in high school, I forgot the situation, but I think we had a sub, and I'll just say Wednesday, the thing was write a poem, but write it with a partner. I'm like, all right. He writes music, so I'm going with him, and so I'm sitting there. I'm like, all right. So I'm one of those probably 17 people on one of those songs of Morgan Wallen's just sitting on the wall just painting.
And just to clarify. See, here I go. Clarify.
Yeah, all right, $20 words.
It's 11 people.
11.
So we don't want to discount that.
Okay, all right, 11. All right, 11 that makes it better.
Yeah. Wish I had 11 people. It'd be a hammer if 11 of us wrote a song.
No, I promise you, I would be that 12th person just in the background. If y'all ever write again, just have me there. I'll be comedic
I really
relief.
like that cough that you just did. We're gonna put that in the track.
Yeah, I like that. And where'd you come from, dude? I'm over here painting the Mona Lisa or something, like whatever. See, and I know, art and stuff.
Cultured.
Kind of.
Hey, that boy's traveled.
I've traveled over state lines. I tell you what.
Yeah.
But oh man, I forgot where I was going.
You were talking about your buddy in a group assignment and a poem.
Yeah. So we had a group assignment of writing a poem.
Stay on track.
And I know. See, I told you there's a reason I don't have questions, because I just go off topic and off track anyway. So we were told to write a poem on like Wednesday. We wrote it, and it was cool. I forgot what it was, but I remember it was really good. And so we turned.
It was really good.
It was really good. I knew.
I don't remember it, but it was great.
we got an A in it, so we turned it in, and then the next day, it was like the same thing, but it didn't specify whether you did it with a person or by yourself, and it said write a poem. And I'm like, all right. So we wrote a poem together again, turned it in. So like it was the following week on a Monday, the teacher came out and said, y'all two come here. We're like, all right. We go out there. She hands us a piece of paper. She said, what is this? I looked at it and I looked at her. I said, that's a badass poem. And she's like, Cody. I'm like, it is. And she's like, well, one of y'all got to rewrite it. Looked at him. He looked at me. I said, I ain't doing it.
It's on you, Bubba.
It's on you. I was like, I ain't doing it. So she was like, you know what? Y'all both got to rewrite it. Want to know what I did? I rewrote the exact same poem and gave it right back to her. She took it, and I was like,
there you go.
I was like, we did this whole thing just to prove a point. It made no sense. I don't know why that just came to my mind, but that was very Theo Vaughn of me.
There you go. Well, when I was in high school, it was my freshman year. So I guess it was called an elective. Is that right? Mm-hmm. So you could choose something. So I chose guitar, and at this point, I'd already been playing. How old are you when you're a freshman? 14?
Right around there. Yeah.
So, I had already played, for a year or so. Mm-hmm. I knew a little bit. So when I went in there to this beginner guitar class that we had, it's the only class I've ever made a 100 in my whole career of school.
Yeah.
And dude, so I carried this guitar around, and the next class after that was my English class, and I brought my guitar to school every day. Like I didn't just play the little classical ones they had because I wanted to be cool, Mm-hmm. And so when I went into my English class, she told us to write a poem as well, and I didn't write a poem. I wrote a song, and she said, if you perform that song, I'll give you extra credit, and I needed all the extra credit I could get. So I sang that song my freshman year, and that was actually kind of the gateway or whatever, how people knew that I sang and all that stuff. Which if anybody went to high school with me that's listening to this, tell me if you remember that, because I don't know if it was good or bad, but it was good enough to get me extra credit, and that's kind of how I started getting the courage to play and sing in front of people too.
Interesting.
Nervous.
Yeah, over shaking. Just,
only look at the words again.
Yeah. Look at it. Yeah. No. Okay. All right. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
They call me Love Child. Hold on one second.
They call me Love Child. No, we had I'll tell you this one story. I totally forgot. It was in high school. Oh, I had a conversation with someone the other day, and I don't know, again, high school. And we were talking, no, you're good. And we were talking about the worst jobs we ever did or whatever. And I tell you, I was still in high school. I think I was going into my junior year, and I worked at high school, and it was like a summer job. And all we did was basically scrape gum off of the bottom of the desks, redo baseboards, paint walls, and do ceiling tiles. And then at the time, they were doing they were redoing the culinary arts area. So that was one of the biggest projects we did, of doing the painting and a lot of the moving stuff. Well, they were going to have this brick oven out there, and they needed this place the ground leveled, and it was not leveled at all. And they gave us 4 shovels and said, all right, go on and level it. And I'm like, okay. And so there we are. We're like, okay, what could possibly go wrong? Nope. Second week of July, you just see all of us just out there sweating our butts off. Just like, this is awful. I don't ever want to do this. I'm like, look, if I ever thought about doing a manual labor job, that quickly told me I'm not cut out for this. I'll pay someone. I'm good. I'm out. I'm done with it. But all I know was I was the youngest one there, so they're like, how long is this gonna be leveled? I said, guys, I'm making the executive decision. It's leveled enough. And then not only that, we had to lay the sod, and that was
That's good for you, man.
No. The next day after laying the first like half of the sod, I'm sitting there just on like one of those high school desks, like the all-in-one whatever connected table desk, whatever. I'm laying on top of it, just dying from my allergies, and I'm like, oh geez. I said, I want to go home and just not deal with this.
So landscaping's out of your cards.
Landscaping is done. I'll do it if it's like my own stuff, but I'm not going to do it for a profession. I'm good.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm good.
What about so that's the worst job you ever had?
I think that was probably one of the worst that I said I won't do that crap again.
So which I'm not trying to make this about me, but when I moved to Nashville in 2012, 2013, somewhere around there, the first job ever, like we had to find jobs quick because, man, Nashville has always been expensive no matter what. And I think our apartment, me and my buddy Wesley Culpepper moved up there. I think I was 20, 21. Maybe I just turned 21. Same with him. And we moved up there, man, on pennies. So we didn't have nothing. He got a job at Gibson Guitar. He was building the custom guitars, and I didn't have a job. So I was like, I had a little bit of money saved up. So I was just my plan was to go to Broadway and get a gig down there. And, like the first week, I ended up getting a gig at Tootsie's, and I was playing like Tootsie's and Rippies and whatever the other one was. But they put me on this little circuit, but I found out that it ain't like it is now. You could go up there and make bank. But then, like, you could still park for free, and like it was still like not as busy as it is now. So I had to go get a job, and somebody that played downtown was like, "Man, I valet on the side," and I was like, "Is it hard?" He's like, "No." He says, "Super easy." And I was like, "All right." Well, whatever route he got, his was easy. The one that they gave me, they were like, "Hey, look, the motto of the company was run fast, drive slow." And I was like, oh boy. So like my first day, they're like, so I'm gonna have to get you to run from like, they put me on this spot. It was outside of like a hospital or something. So I had to run from like one spot. So I'm running like a quarter of a mile, like every time to go get these stupid cars, and I'd drive them back. That was the worst job I've ever had because they made you shave your face. Ooh. That was rule number one. But I didn't know that you could tell them that you had an allergy or something, like, and you could get a doctor's excuse to not shave your face. So like half the people there had facial hair because they had an allergy, right? Yeah. But that was the worst job I ever had was parking cars. So yours is landscaping. Mine is cardio for a job. That sucks. Well, so that was the worst part.
No, well, it was so funny. So, like, I mean, I played soccer growing up, and then I tell people, I'm like, yeah, I played soccer growing up. They're like, okay, why'd you quit? I hated running, and they're like, well, that's 90% of it. I said, yeah, I hated running. There's a reason they kept me on defense, right back. They kept me back there because I didn't have to run far. Yeah, I ran my little zone and went about it. But Kaleb, last question I have for you, because I know you got to get going and get on to your gig that you have a little bit later on. But was there someone early on, later on, that gave you some of the best advice that you want to kind of share on to any listeners?
Oh, bro, this is the best advice I've ever got. You ready for this? Mm-hmm. So, downtown Columbus, they built that, I can't remember the name of it. Something, there's some kind of park down there. So, like, they do, like the crawfish thing we were talking about earlier. What's it called?
It was like Frogtown at the time.
Yeah, so that area right there, they did a songwriter thing. So, they brought in these hit songwriters. So, they brought in the guy that wrote The Dance, Tony Arata. There was another guy. I can't think of their name. The hit songwriters. But Tony Arata, after the show, I went up to him and talked to him. and I was like 16 or 17. I said, "Hey man, what's the best advice you got for a songwriter up and coming?" And he looked at me dead in my eyes. He said, "Quit." And I was like, "Okay." And he said, No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding." He said, "Squeaky wheel gets the grease." And I was still like, what in the world is he talking about?
Yeah.
But now, like, it makes more sense now. Like, you know, the squeaky wheel, it gets the attention. So the more you like keep popping up in these scenarios and just surround yourself with like-minded people, the more your name comes up. There you go. You're getting the grease. So Tony Arata, that's who gave me my advice.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Haven't seen him since. I don't even know if he's still alive, but hey.
You know what?
He wrote some good songs.
You know, I was about to say, we talked about it. Yeah, all you got to do is get on your phone and just Google it real quick and go, hey, yeah, well, we can figure it out.
That's right.
But, Kaleb, I appreciate you coming down, doing the songs. I'll come out, you know, a little bit later and doing this podcast with me.
Dude, thanks for having me.
Always, man. Anytime.